I was posted to the FCT. Shortly after I settled down, we did an analysis of residential land allocations in the Federal Capital Territory and found that indigenous of 3 states in Nigeria owned 62% of all the residential plots in Abuja. I will not mention the states. But that worried me personally, because if we are building a Federal Capital Territory, everyone should have a stake. So I went to Chief Audu as chairman of the party and as someone that I consider my mentor. I went to him, I said, sir, there is a problem in Abuja. He said, what is it? I explained everything to him. He said, look, we have to inject a sense of balance in land ownership in Abuja for it to be a truly federal capital city. He said, so what do I do? He said, let's think about it. 2 days later, he called me, and the solution was simple. Let us identify the states that are not represented, that don't have people owning plots in Abuja, states like Bayelsa, for instance, and ensure that we grant them large allocations of land to the state government, either the State Housing Corporation or the State Property Development Corporation, to develop so that at some point the government can sell to indigenous of Bayelsa so that they all have a sense of ownership. And with that, we went to President Obasanjo. President Obasanjo endorsed the idea. But President Obasanjo said, some of these states that didn't vote for PDP, don't go to them. I said, yes, sir. When we came out, we went to Chief Audu Ogbe's house. He said, Nasir, you're going to go to each state governor, whether it's ANPP, PDP, AD. We are trying to build a Nigeria for everyone, not for PDP. I'm the chairman of PDP. I love the PDP, but this is not about PDP. This is how to work with.
That was Malam Nasiru El-Rufai speaking at a ceremony to mark the life and time of late Audu Ogbe, former national chairman of the PDP and the Minister of Agriculture during the administration of Muhammad Buhari. Pay attention to El-Rufai and see that he was able to mention Bayelsa State as a state that didn't have land in Abuja. But he said he will not mention the other ones. Why is he afraid of mentioning the other ones? It's not that he's afraid, but he's being tactical of mentioning the other ones. The other state, they say that 3 persons, this time he says 3 individuals from 3 states, we are owning 62% of land, residential lands in Abuja. Why was he hiding it? It is because the North is trying to build an alliance with the Southeast to ensure that Tinubu doesn't return in 2027. I can understand that. Okay, but he should have been courageous enough to say it. Of course, why he will not say it is because it will reopen old wounds. It will reopen old wounds, especially for the Igbos that lost a lot during the time of El-Rufai as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Don't forget that one of the hallmarks of El-Rufai's administration was the demolition of properties. Demolition of properties. And the Igbos bear the biggest brunt. They bore it, the biggest brunt of that exercise. They suffered most in that. It was within that because the Igbos suffered a lot because of that. So it was his government came under attack that they were anti-Igbo. that they were anti-Igbo. And he had to respond that no, he wasn't targeting Igbos. And insisted that the reason why it appears that Igbos were targeted is because the Igbos own most lands in Abuja. According to him, at that time, that was around 2006, 2007 or thereabout, he said that the Igbos own 73% of land in Abuja, that Igbos acquired. I like the way he put it. He said the Igbos acquired 73% of the lands in Abuja. And he also mentioned that the Igbos were not the most allocated section of the country in terms of land. He said that the 19 northern states constitute about 68% of the lands that were allocated in Abuja. And if you look at it, between the time that the capital of Nigeria moved from Lagos to Abuja, all the ministers of the FCT, none of them had ever come from the southeast. So the CFOs were issued by mainly northern ministers. And they issued those CFOs to the 19 northern states, mainly, okay? But what happened was that the Igbo business people saw the opportunity in Abuja even before other people could see it. And those northern people, when they allocated this land, what they do is that they sell it to the Igbos. Igbos were buying them. So he put it that Igbos acquired. That was the appropriate word to use. So Igbos didn't take land. Igbo didn't get the largest allocation. So he was not being fair by saying that three individuals in 3 states, which I doubt. But whatever may be the case, he himself, when he was a sitting minister, said that 73% of the lands in Abuja are owned by Igbos by acquisition, while by allocation, the North was stopping with 68%. And now, the story of Igbos estate development, property development in Abuja has been well captured in my book, The Igbo Phenomenon, Secrets of the Enduring Wealth of a People. That book is my most popular book. It's available on Amazon. I talk about it there. How Igbos started small, taking advantage of the opportunities in the new capital. The Yorubas never wanted Abuja to work. It was after the Oka coup that IBB administration and then Abacha said that these two leaders know that they can't continue to stay in Lagos. Lagos is not safe for the military leaders. That the Yorubas in the civil service began to think about coming to Abuja to stay permanent. They didn't want it to work. In fact, it was Abacha who gave a directive to those Yoruba civil servants who preferred to be flying. They will stay in Abuja they will come to Abuja, they will fly in on Sunday evening. After work, Friday, they have gone back to Lagos, you know. That was what they were doing. And many of them were not even ready to come to Abuja. Abacha put a deadline. Say, if you don't want to lose your job, better move to Abuja. But before then, the Igbos had already seen the opportunity in Abuja. And that was why they were, as lands were being allocated to the Northerners, the Igbos were acquiring them to develop. And the Igbos themselves noticed that there's a lot of opportunity in Abuja. For instance, they discovered that Abuja was lonely, a developing city. So the Lagosians who are used to Owambe and all these things. They don't see where to relax and everything when they come to Abuja. The Igbos started building hotels. If you go and study the history of hotel development in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, you have to give kudos to the foresight of the Igbo business people. Today that nepotism is at its highest, I even doubt if they will be able to do what they were able to do under Tinubu administration that has marked them down in all directions. But at that time, the Igbos saw the need to build hotels so that those who are flying in and flying out, say Abuja is boring, will see where they can stay. Igbos began the process of making Abuja a hospitality heaven that it is today. And that is why today, up to this today, I think any reasonable person will agree that most of the hotels that make sense in Abuja are owned by people of Igbo extraction, both at the upper level, at the middle level, at the lowest level of hotel and hospitality business. Because they believe in one Nigeria and they also believe in opportunities. While the Yorubas were anti-moving the capital from Lagos. And today they have left the capital for them. Look at what they have turned Lagos today. Now turned it is their own personal property. That no other Nigerian has a right to do anything in Lagos except at their own, except in their own terms. So what El-Rufai did at that Ogbe's memorial service was basically to draw attention of how Ogbe supported him to carry out that agenda of demolition. Of course, Ogbe himself, I don't know whether he's a lover of Igbo or not. I don't care, anyways. But he's an Idoma person from Benue. But the fact is that when they saw that most of the lands are owned by the Igbos, and they look at what Audu said, go and demolish it. But when it concerned him personally, his own church, he now say they shouldn't be demolished. You understand what I'm saying? It's just shows a lot of contradiction in our leaders. But by and by, my observation is that the Igbos have invested heavily. They had more faith in Abuja than any part of any other Nigerians. Because you can't tell me that even the northern states, who are getting most of the land allocation, if they had faith in Abuja, they would have developed the plots allocated to them. Instead, what they were doing was selling it to the Igbos who are willing to buy. And the Igbos use it to develop hotels, residential properties, and all that. And the El-Rufai is now saying that when they discovered that 3 states were owning, 3 individuals from 3 states were owning 62% of the land in Abuja. But in 2007, he told us that the Igbos were owning 73%. So I will assume that those 3 states were states in the southeast. And he explained it in 2007. He said Anambra is leading. Anambra State is leading in real estate in Abuja. And now told us, he said the least southeast state in land acquisition and development in Abuja is by Ebonyi. That's what he told us. It's written there. I'll put a link for you to see. But the reason why he didn't want, I'm sure you don't want to bring it up so that it doesn't reopen old wounds about the suffering the Igbos passed through when their properties were being demolished at random in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, under the supervision of Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. So that is the story of the Igbo man. And that is the story of Igbo's faith in a Nigerian state that should work for all. I don't know what to think about El-Rufai's decision not to mention the states these three individuals that acquire 62% of the lands were from. Even when he was able to mention that Southeast, the Igbos were dominating the residential accommodation, land acquisition in the FCT in 2007. Why did he hide it now? Why didn't he mention it? As I told you, my thinking is that it's because of the 2027 politics, in order not to open the old wounds of what happened when he was leading demolition in the Southeast. But whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.